Okay, for A, let's do this in two steps. Let me actually zoom in so we can get a bigger picture, right? It's easier. Okay, so let's just do this in two steps, right? We know the sum of all the measures in the triangle are 180. So we know if I call this, I don't know, let's call it Y, right? 46 plus 90 plus Y equals 180, right? In the angle sum theorem for triangles. So this means that if I have 90 plus 46, that's 136 plus Y equals 180. We subtract 136 from both sides. We get Y equals 44. So we know this angle, and I can label it in there, right? This is 44. And then we know that the angle Y and angle X together form a straight line, so that's 180. So we know that 44 plus X equals 180. And we subtract 44 from both sides, and we get X equals 136. So angle X is 136 degrees. Okay, for B, they're asking us for angle X, and if we look at this, first, there are two parallel lines cut by a transversal, or two transversals really, but we only need one. If we look on here, the angle that's measured 77, that's the same measure, right, as this angle, right? So this is 77. So now X and this 77 degrees form a straight line, right? So we know that X plus 77 equals 180 degrees. So we subtract 77 from both sides, and we get X equals 103 degrees, right? So there's the answer to that one. This one was part A, right? Here's A, and here's B, right? 103 degrees. I highly recommend for these problems, let me make some space, whenever you have a problem with parallel lines cut by a transversal. So let me clear this. They'll typically draw them, like this, right? And I'm not marking them as parallel. They'll typically draw it close like this. So it's hard to tell when it's drawn like this angle here, if it's equal to this one or this one, because they all look similar. What I recommend you do is right under it, just draw two parallel lines and cut it at a big angle. So now it's easy to see, right? It's really easy to see that this angle and this angle are the congruent ones, right? This angle and this angle are the congruent ones. These four are the big ones, and then, if I'm going to mark this with another, these four are the smaller ones. But they'll typically draw it, the way it is on the top or the way here, and it's not as obvious. So if you just redraw it below with a steeper angle, it's much easier.